Yo, what's up, guys? You got I here today, once again, with a team builder for the GPL versus the one and only Nathan. Now, over here you can see his team, which has Mega Gardevoir, Zygarde 10%, Z-Move Greninja, Torrent Z-Move Greninja, Protean, and Ash Greninja are banned in this league. He has a Moongus, Cobalion, Blastoise, Rotom Heat, Mimikyu, also a Zmon, Rhyperior, Braviary, and Chimecho. Now, my team remains the same with Celesteela as my Zmon, Dugtrio, Primarina, Mega Gallade, Roserade, Chandelure, Druddigon, Porygon 2, Skuntank, Electros, Cryogonal, and Steelix. So, looking at his team, he looks very weak to Mega Gallade, like most teams do these days. So over here I have Bond with the Close Combat, Zen Headbutt, Shadow Sneak, and Swords Dance. Enough speed, I believe, to outspeed max speed Cobalion, although I doubt he'll bring it, but this is just insurance in case he does. Or in case I can find out that he might be a random variant of Scarf Cobalion, and Swords Dance is obviously for setup. I might be in versus, I don't know, maybe a Moongus and he doesn't want to take his in headbutt. He could switch out into something else. So I could go for Swords Dance there. I don't really foresee myself using Swords Dance that often this game, but it's there just in case I get burned randomly by Blastoise or Rotom, so I can do some damage back even if I'm status. So the next mod I decided to bring, Living Like Larry, the Celesteela. Now, this Celesteela set, leftovers, with Heavy Slam, Giga Drain, Flamethrower, and the Leech Seed. Now, this investment basically allows me to take on Mega Gardevoir to an extent, even if it has Thunderbolt, although this isn't the main thing I'll be switching it in on. It allows me to take on Specs Greninja, which can be an issue to me, or even maybe Banded. Giga Drain also can take out Greninja fairly easily. It also gives me HP back versus Blastoise, although I have to be wary of maybe Assault Vest, in case it has Mirror Coat. I can take on Rotom Heat's Overheat and Thunderbolt as long as it's not Specs. Leech Seed obviously for recovery, and yeah, this thing kind of ties the team together. Amoonguss can't really beat it even with the HP Fire. So yeah, that's why I'm bringing Living Like Larry. So the next mon I decided to bring is Ezio, the Steelix. Now, this Steelix set is pretty common. Leftovers with Stealth Rock, Heavy Slam, Earthquake, and Roar. Now, Steelix can take on hits from Mega Gardevoir, so long as it's not Focus Blast. And if he wants to run Focus Blast, he has to hit Focus Miss. So, overall, it's looking pretty decent for me. Stealth Rock, obviously, for hazards. Heavy Slam is for Mega Gardevoir and things like Zygarde, because Earthquake does a bit less. Earthquake is obviously for things like Cobalion, Rhyperior maybe, although Heavy Slam might do more. Heavy Slam is also for things like Mimikyu. By the way, this Steel set is pretty much designed to always switch in on Mimikyu, even if it starts S-ing up or if it's a Z-move. Steelix can fairly take it on pretty decently. And then Roar, just in case something gets out of hand, like, I don't know, Swords Dance Rhyperior, or Bulk Up Braviary. So yeah, Steelix is kind of, like Celesteela, part of my insurance versus his setup mons. So the next mon I said to bring is the Porygon 2. Now, this Porygon 2 set is a bit interesting. So, if you like, obviously, trace, so I can trace things like Pixelate from Mega Gardevoir, or Regenerator from Amoonguss, which I plan on capitalizing if I can. To Toxic is to wear things like a Mega Gardevoir down, wear Blastoise down, Rotom down a bit, Rhyperior, all the bulky things that Porygon 2, my bad, can't actually take on. Tri-Attack is just for general stab. His only ghost type on his team is the Mimikyu, and I am pretty much always going to switch that thing in on. I'm pretty much always going to switch in Steelix on that thing if I can, but Toxic is there to wear it down, just in case my team can't handle it. Psych Up is actually for the Mega Gardevoir in case it starts trying to Calm Mind, or if it's sub-Calm Mind, which could be a fairly big threat to me. I'm kind of worried about that. But part of me thinks he won't bring sub-Calm Mind, because it'd be sub-Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, and probably Psyshock to break through Porygon 2. But if he's that set, it won't be able to beat Celesteela. So I'm thinking he might bring something like Thunderbolt, Psyshock, Hyper Voice, Calm Mind. If he brings Calm Mind, I can toss it again. But this Porygon 2 basically is mainly meant to switch into Mega Gardevoir whenever possible. And I'm not even sure if he'll bring Mega Gardevoir. I have Dugtrio. He might worry that I'm going to try to trap it, but he definitely should. Or he might not bring it because of Celesteela and things like Steelix and things like that. But I don't know. We'll see what he brings. And finally, Recover as my last move, obviously, for general recovery. As you can see, my EV spread is max HP, max special defense, to pretty much take on all variants, well, not all variants, but take on most variants of Mega Gardevoir, as I've said before, as well as things like Specs Greninja and things like Specs Rotom Heat. So, the next mon I decided to bring is the Primarina. Now, you may be wondering, why am I not Specs this week? And that's a very good question, because Specs can always put in work, but I decided to bring Leftovers with Scald, Moonblast, Rest, and Sleep Talk this week, and that is mainly because of the Zygarde 10%. Banded kind of hurts my team a lot if I'm not too careful. Porygon 2 can take Banded Zygarde on, but I need that as my Mega Gardevoir switch-in. So Primarina this week is my switch-in to big physical attackers such as Zygarde and potentially Cobalion and Braviary and Rhyperior. Not Mimikyu though, Steelix Ezio has that job. But I've Scald for the chance to burn. Moonblast, Rest, Sleep. Rest is actually, so Banded Zygarde 10%, 1,000 Arrows is a 3-hit KO on this variant of Primarina. So I can come in even after Rocks, and if he wants to try to kill me, I can rush off on that and go for the Sleep Talk. But yeah, this Rest is pretty much the only recovery move Primarina gets, and I needed it alive for as long as Zygarde's alive. So that's the whole reason I brought this set. So the next mon I decided to bring, the last mon, is the Roserade. Now, looking at his team, I'm really hoping he brings Amoonguss. The reason why is because Roserade can come in on Amoonguss every single time and start setting up spikes. Now, his only way to remove hazards is A, Blastoise, which if it is Blastoise can't really do much versus my team. I have Mega Glade, which manhandles pretty much everything. I have Giga Drain, Leech Seed on Celesteela. Blastoise can take on Ezio here, but it can't really take on Porygon 2 because of the Toxic, or Primarina because it's Rest Talk. And yeah, so his other option is Defog Braviary, which I don't foresee him bringing, mainly because of these two things right here. Steelix hard walls it pretty much. So does Celesteela to an extent. So I'm not really foreseeing him to bring hazards. I kind of foresee him to try to hazard stack me instead. So I have the Spikes, Giga Drain, Hidden Power Fire, just so I can hit the Amoonguss for some damage, as well as the Cobalion. I don't want to be set up on by the Cobalion, because it is pretty threatening, as the only thing on my team that can properly revenge kill him is Mega Glade, and that's only if he's not Rock Polish. But, yeah, Synthesis is for general recovery, Giga Drain is for also general recovery, so I can get HP versus things like Rhyperior, Greninja, and things like that. So, this EV spread, right? I can take an overheat. I can take an overheat from defensive Rotom Heat. And yeah, and I can take on physical moves fairly decently from things like Cobalion. I think I might be able to live a Life Orb, Outrage from Zygarde. So yeah, this is the team I'm deciding to bring. Hope it works out. And thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the actual match.